Well, hello, my beautiful Virgo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, something that may benefit you during this time is to really visualize the things that you desire to call into your life, because the Gaia chimes recalibrate vibrations to align you with what you desire. Something to think about as you utilize this time. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Virgo, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading is going to tap into what you're moving through at this moment in time and of course what lies on the other side. I mean, I don't know if you noticed with the Gaia chimes, there seemed to be a persistent note continuously playing there. Now the Gaia chimes, I always make sure that they are in tune and it will always show up a vibration if you're feeling a little bit out of alignment, but I definitely felt a sense that there is a repetitive cycle or something consistently that you're doing, showing up for, and it just feels like it's a little bit one note in your life, but I feel like you're showing up for it, you're making it happen, but also there is a desire for new experiences or sparkly energy. I'm actually seeing a glitter ball in the water right now, and this can indicate a desire to have more fun or get out there and party. Randomly, I'm seeing 3 images. I'm seeing a mirror as well and a horse. So this can indicate that, of course, you're focused on your sense of identity. You're looking at the world and what it's reflecting back to you at this time. Could also be that you're focused on health, beauty routines, independence with the horse energy. This could be independence or trying to be more free in your circumstances, break free from a responsibility, or even a cycle of repeat there. So I just had to give you that because I'm scrying at the same time as doing your reading, and if I do not mention these images, then the energy remains stagnant, okay? So let's get to the cards and see what they're saying for you. Perhaps that's going to resonate in some way. Maybe it won't. Don't try to make it fit if it doesn't resonate. Also, I want you to be aware I'm doing a free competition for 1 subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. We had the cage. So yeah, there was this energy coming out in the Gaia chimes and obviously in that unique equation of images that I just saw, a glitter ball, a mirror, and a horse. Okay, so the cage can indicate you feel stuck in something, whether it is, you know, the humdrum of life. Sometimes we get into that routine. We've got soda. You want things to be a little bit more fizzy. Feel like you're under a lot of pressure right now. And maybe you feel like you're tapping into something more specific within you. Something's bubbling up. Perhaps you're being intention led with your heart at this moment in time. We've got steps there. I mean, that can also be a practical level. A lot of you are focused on foot health at this time, really kind of looking at your journey as well, symbolically looking at your path. But I also get this energy of desiring something a little bit more exciting. Let me just get that card for you. It's just gone under my little box there. We have the Anchor. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? I mean, that card actually indicates seeking more excitement. So yeah, I picked up on that energy, a little bit more independent. We got the Buddha. Now, you're trying to quieten out the noise as well, trying to ground yourself, trying to find your way, perhaps even in a brand new world, because we have the World card right there. So something in your world may have shifted. Perhaps this is something that, occurred since the globe, the world went into some challenging times or more challenging times over the last couple of years. You may feel that we're navigating a brand new world there, and you're trying to navigate your way through this. It's like baby steps. You're taking it day by day on some of the things that are going on in your life. I mean, we've got risks there. So this could also be that you're trying to take a little bit more risk in life, calculated risk, of course. Some of you with that world energy, you're thinking about where you feel like you belong. Maybe you're thinking about taking life overseas or migrating in some way, or looking at where feels like home, because we have the Anchor. But ultimately, I feel a lot of you feel like you're in the same position, even though like you're super busy. Also, I have a racing mind energy coming through right now. So it can be that you have a lot on your mind and you have so many things that you think, oh, that would be a great idea. Then you're on to the next. And you're like, oh, better return to this one. I just feel there's lots of sometimes intrusive thoughts that you're trying to manage as well. But let's get to your first card. We got the Cage there. This is the foundation card of your reading. So it can indicate that you feel locked into something, or you feel like your wings have been clipped. You may have felt a little bit more adventurous when you were younger, or you may have felt there were more opportunities when you were younger, or you felt freer in some way. A lot of you with that world energy, it feels like you're navigating a new era. You've learned a lot of lessons. The world can be about the completion of lessons there. But also, it's like you've come a long way in life. You've been through so many things, and yet somehow you still feel like you're caged in, or you feel perhaps an oppressive environment. Now, this can be connected to the world because, of course, you have the World card there. I wouldn't mention the world unless it was showing up in your reading. So you may feel, of course, a very oppressive world right now, okay? I mean, we can all feel it, we can all see it. Different countries are doing different things. And of course, there's a lot of changes going on, and you may be trying to navigate your way through these things and desiring a little bit more freedom. I mean, it literally says here, feeling trapped, desiring freedom, unhealthy inner life, oppressive environment. Now, this can be on so many levels. You may feel that you have many intrusive thoughts and you feel trapped in those, and you're trying to manage those thoughts, which you will. You will find emotional grounding there. For some of you, you may even reach out to like a practitioner to help you. But I feel moments of stillness will really bring this calmness towards you and inside of you. So I do feel it will be a slow process. You need to have a little bit more compassion with yourself there. But also, I feel there is this energy of wherever you are right now, because of course it's going to be different for all of you. There's so many layers. So this could be that you feel that you've reached a plateau in your career, that you want to break free, you want to do something more. It can be that you want to go traveling, be more nomadic in your working circumstances, or if you're retired, it could be that you want to be free to travel. You may be looking at restrictions or rules, regulations, policies that may have changed that keep you rooted to a certain position or routine or some sort of cycle that you feel you want to be a little bit more free from there. This could also be a friendship, a relationship, or perhaps you feel like you go round and round in circles with a person with the same conversations. And you're like, can we ever be free of this? Does it always have to come back to this? Can this be healed? Can we move on? So a lot of you with this Cage energy, I feel more than anything, there is this kind of like, I would say, grounding energy, like you're this beautiful bird, okay? And it feels like your wings have been clipped, or you feel that perhaps some sort of structure has kept you in the same place in some way. Now, this can be, as I said, many different layers. For example, when we have like higher purchases, for example, like a mortgage. It can be that, we work really hard, get into a structure in order to pay down that mortgage debt so we can be free of that and like pay it off. But we are like caged in. We have built some sort of structure in order to bind us to it for some time. And it's like, okay, now it just means I have to be really responsible. I have to make sure I show up, pay the bills, all of the stuff, and the soda is a crossing card. It can indicate that then you have to not cut out completely, but you have to manage where you spend your money. Party time, for example, is not as much as it used to be, because I'm just mentioning that glitter ball that came up there earlier. But the soda, as a crossing position, this can indicate that you feel locked into something right now and you just want to have a little bit more fun. You feel things are highly pressurized because the soda bottle, of course, is a compartment, as it were, that is containing the fizziness, the carbonated water, as it were, that when it's shaken a little bit, so that can be that you want to revamp your life or shake things up a little bit, it can be that you want things to be a little bit more fizzy in life in general. It says seeking more excitement, thirsty for something, feeling refreshed and rejuvenated, and got your energy levels back. So, in terms of health, some of you may feel that you've been drained, because this is a card in the resistance position as well as the upright. And it can feel that it's really hard to break free from a cycle, or if you've been managing certain health issues at this time, it can be so hard to kind of like get out of that routine or that structure, as it were, and kind of like have more vitality. And this could be that you're managing certain symptoms right now and that you have to be like super disciplined in some way. I feel with the umbrella, there's this energy as well of it been affected by world events, or maybe an event that occurred around the world, and it's in the past. So this is something that is big that perhaps happened globally that we all experienced at some point. It can be that ever since, you just don't feel like the world is the same or your world is the same. It's showing up collectively right now. So this can be a really kind of thoughtful, reflective period. I just realized that the glitter ball is still a ball. It's still a globe. This is not really glittering, but it has those structures like a glitter ball. So yeah, it can be that you feel the world has changed, and now your response to it and how it is like, how can I'm trying to just get this energy and find the right words for it. It feels like you're navigating a new world because you have like baby steps here. And this doesn't have to be connected to the world, but I am getting a strong energy with the umbrella that you may feel there's a lot of pressure, a lot of changes, things are bubbling up right now. You feel that right now things, there's like a lid on things, but you feel it's about to kind of like blow in some way. And these are things that you are just emotionally witnessing or feeling at this time. I feel there's an energy here with a crown of, you finding grounding and power in a situation where you are in command and that you're protected throughout these experiences or these witnessed events, as it were, but it doesn't stop you from worrying. Okay, so I have to address it because it was there. I'm just going to leave it like that. The rose can indicate that not only are you going through a major personal development and growth, the world is also going through some radical changes and growth. And things are, a little bit pressurized right now, to say the least. But I feel there is this energy here of kind of like, I would say, trusting the process, transitioning towards a period where things get better, but it has to go through the transition at first, okay? Because I have to mention it because we've got the ruling world there, so it can indicate you're kind of like keeping an eye on people who are the custodians of this world, who are in power, for example. So it can be that you don't trust, that you are at this moment in time preempting some changes that you feel like you need to protect yourself with, because the umbrella is in your advice to yourself in this moment. Ride out the storm, protect yourself. Perhaps it can be that, you're prepared for a challenge ahead. But actually, I feel for you personally, the challenge, I feel like there's no challenge there. There's peace. You've got anchoring, security, safety. This is a grounding energy. So I'm going to leave that there because, of course, not everybody's going to resonate with that. But I had to acknowledge it because the world globe is there and you have so many energies that point to that. I mean, even this card says power to manipulate emotions. So you may be just witnessing things and trying to disconnect and quieten the noise, as it were, to protect your inner peace, because you got a card of protection and the Buddha there. It's like you're disconnecting from anything that triggers your emotions, high cortisol levels, stress. It feels like you are being very savvy and kind of like focusing a little bit more on your layer, your family, the people you care about, and saying, okay, I'll do what I can in order to help the world or help the circumstances, but at the same time, I don't want it to cause fear or impede my progress. So that's coming out. I'm going to disconnect from that. But ultimately, I feel a lot of you are like, I just want life to be a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fizzy, okay, a little bit more exciting there. Also, in terms of energy, I feel this is about your energy levels returning. A lot of you may be cutting something out that perhaps drains your energy. I do feel some of you, and please connect to a healthcare practitioner if this is you. I don't see anything negative here, but if you feel like you're drained all the time, there could be a vitamin deficiency or maybe a hormonal kind of fluctuation there because we have Neptune presiding. This can be water related, like needing more hydration, or it could be like hormones kind of like shifting there. You may be going through something that is affecting your body in some way. I mean, for some of you, it could be stress. You're managing a lot of pressure, a lot of stress there. You're holding it all together, as it were. So I feel this is about kind of like managing stress levels, but also acknowledging that maybe if you're drained all the time, it can be your environment because you have the world there. But I feel this could be that, you approach whatever this is, and with that crown, that can be someone who's in a position of authority to help you. And I would say that they will run some tests, and I feel they're coming out with an energy of like a vitamin deficiency, something that can be anchored, corrected, something that will achieve stability. If you think about Trident, it's all about the oceans, it's about Poseidon, conquering. And we've got the anchor, so that means you ground your energy. So again, I'll move away from that. But we've got step-by-step approach, taking action, first steps to success and pursuing something. But I feel more than anything, this is about, you taking things day by day, trying not to pressure yourself, perhaps trying to find a way to bring a little bit more excitement into your world or reignite that spark for something. I also feel a lot of you are trying to learn new things, learn more about yourself, your capabilities, and cathartically process emotions in order to free yourself up from something that has been very heavy in your world. I also feel a lot of you are thinking about your legacy, because I'm seeing the footprint as like making a mark in your world, kind of like being remembered for something, okay? And of course, I see here you are someone who brings peace to a situation. You're someone who's very practical. You can see both sides. So if there's been any conflict in friendships or family, I feel you are a grounding force that kind of, your legacy in that is someone who is a peacemaker to some degree. So you may have felt like you've been in the middle of something and you don't really want to be in the middle of something, but at the same time, you speak your truth, and I feel it helps kind of dissipate, any further conflict. Random, but that just came out there as well. I feel this is also about independence, standing on your own 2 feet. Maybe I feel this very strong pull towards relocating to a different part of the world, or being more nomadic, or trying to find home. So you may feel like things have changed and you feel somehow disconnected to your sense of self, because the crown can be about you having sovereignty over yourself, your world, your thoughts, all of those things. So it can be that you are kind of like trying to find your way home to self if you feel that you've been out of touch or out of sync with something in your world. It's almost like you're relearning or reconnecting to a part of yourself. But I'm also seeing like these steps, like baby steps. So I feel there's an energy here of opening up your playful side in some way. So that's coming out very strong there as well. Of course, you're taking action on things, but I feel it's more than that. I feel in the energy that I'm feeling right now, it's like doing a lot of soul searching, saying, okay, you know what? Things used to be a lot more fun, less responsibility. Doesn't mean you're going to shirk responsibility. I feel like you have that as a presiding energy there. That is the power to control your domain in some way. But if you think about waters, oceans, it can be that you're trying to be in the flow. You feel like you're in an ever-changing environment right now. And this can be globally, can be personally. You feel like you're trying to have some sort of control over a very changeable circumstance. And you will find that control, or you will find that grounding in it. But it feels like you have to either take a risk or come out of your comfort zone, because there's something new here, a new path, a new perspective. And I feel also, I mean, the dice represent the Wheel of Fortune energy. I feel like you are going to have a breakthrough on something that aligns you with a lot of success, a lot of victory. I mean, if you are currently trying to manage some health issues, or you're trying to manage a career project, or you're trying to find love, I mean, this can indicate that, yes, there is divine intervention, but also it can be that you're coming out of a comfort zone or trying something radically new or different, and it will be successful. So please apply it to your situation. It's going to be different for everybody. But I feel, because we do have the world there, and it literally says travel opportunities, moving abroad, foreign or foreigner, wholeness and completion, and we have the steps there, this can indicate that you feel like you're navigating a brand new world or a new era in your life. And I feel there's this desire for freedom in that. So whether it is you're moving literally to a new location, or you've entered into a new stage in life in some way, I feel there is this energy of you going through some major personal development and growth with this, but it feels like the risks that you took is going to be worth it. Okay, it's a calculated risk there. I also feel like you're trying to make sense of a world that feels like it's a little bit upside down, or, you know, gone a little bit crazy there. I feel there's this energy of you being wild at heart and trying to rewild yourself in some way. And I feel there's this energy of knowing thyself on a deeper level, because I feel a lot of this energy is about identity, of finding your way back to you. Of course, it's all about material gain as well, and, you know, stability, because these two cards are like, I just want to be stable, I want to be happy, I want to know that I'm protected, I want to make sure that the people I care about are the same. I feel, you know, that is something that you're working towards. And yes, I do see that, you know, there is a fated energy here, which means it's bringing in success. There is divine intervention, which sees you protected in some of the changes that you preempt, or even difficulties that you preempt there. But I feel like it's been hard to break out of something, even if you're trying to break out of, like, not just a repetitive routine. Perhaps you're trying to manage a cycle, or you're trying to break a bad habit, for example. It just feels like you will conquer this, whatever this is for you. And, you know, you will feel really proud of yourself that you took the effort to do it. You're shutting down a cycle. Something big has ended for you, because that is the end of an era. And it can be that, you know, you release control, or you release someone's control over you, because this is a card of control. Neptune, especially since we're in an age where Neptune and Pisces are very relevant. This is, and some people have, let's put it this way, called it like the age of deception, right? Where there's a lot of like fake stuff out there, a lot of illusion, a lot of like things that present as real and it's fake news, or, you know, all of that stuff. So it can be that there is this like random new world that we find ourselves in, and you're trying to find the freedom, but also the truth of it all. I feel you're just doing so many big soul searches, but at the same time, you know, you feel that perhaps the layer you need to focus on is grounding and coming back to yourself. I'm not really sure where this reading's going, but that's something that's coming out right now, because the Trident, Neptune, controlled emotions, power to manipulate emotions, water journey. This can be that it's a very cathartic time, that you're trying to release a lot of pressure. You have been holding it all together. You feel caged in a situation that you feel perhaps was due to circumstances beyond your control in some way. For some of you, this could be that, you know, you ended a relationship, that you thought the world of this person, and now you feel kind of trapped in nostalgia, in hurt, trying to manage a brand new world where you're rediscovering your identity, where you're relearning, you know, how to conduct a life without this person. You know, many years ago when I broke up with someone that was a very toxic relationship, it ended very badly. Like, basically, I was a shell of myself. It nearly destroyed me. But I had to almost relearn what it is I used to do before I was with this person, because, you know, it got into such a routine, and I just felt a sense of like I'd lost myself in this relationship. So it doesn't have to be about the world. It can be that you feel like, to some degree, you've been on autopilot doing what you got to do to show up and live your life, and you feel like you've lost your sense of self in all of that busyness. And this is about reconnecting to your emotions, to kind of look at what has controlled your set of circumstances to a degree where you feel like you're in that cage, if that makes sense. So when we lock ourselves into a contract, or, you know, if we're in a job that perhaps you feel there's no room for maneuver in, you may be feeling like, I gotta break free, I gotta be in the flow, I gotta follow my heart. My emotions feel right now that I'm trapped, but I have the control in the situation to seek outside of the cage. I have to just find that key to unlock it all. So it could be that you're trying to find the missing ingredient in life, the things that you would find exciting. This could also be like you connect to hobbies that you used to do in the past, and now they're just not as fulfilling as they used to be because the fizziness is kind of like dissipated. This could be because you're maturing, evolving, wanting different things. So it can be that you are rediscovering or coming back to self, or redefining what it is that enriches your soul. And with the anchor, it's like suddenly you discover it, so you can lower the anchor. And I'm being given this energy, and it may not resonate with all of you. I feel like you've got a goal that you're working towards. Yes, there's consistency that will bring success. I feel like you're locked onto that. But even in the realms of that, I feel there's part of you that questions, like, are you on the right path? Are you drifting? Are you feeling lost in all of this? Is there too much noise that you cannot hear your heart? So I feel you're trying to recalibrate in some way, but still not lose sight of your goals and your dreams, which you're not going to. I see that you're very successful. The crown is to be successful. And it can be that you're doing what you got to do with the circumstances that you got. You're showing up. You're taking it one step at a time. And you will conquer whatever the challenge is. It says security and safety, achieving stability, unwavering dedication, and a strong bond and enduring. So this is your near future energy. That's a breakthrough that highlights that you're on the right path, that you are secure, that you're showing up, and your diligence and your commitment is going to bring rewards, but also emotional stability. If you're healing from something, whether it is an unwellness, whether it is grief, and I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love if you've been grieving, you know, either a person or a part of your life. I feel this is about you kind of achieving a position where your emotions are helping you feel a little bit more stable. Like you're releasing emotions and you're going through a process, and, you know, it kind of feels like, and this is a very delicate situation, and maybe this is why, because when I'm reading, I read energy, and it's almost like I'm trying to find the words. So maybe you feel like what you actually feel sometimes is indescribable, like you're trying to locate what it is. But, You know, if there is a grief or a sadness or a wound that you've experienced and you're trying to navigate this brand new world, it can be that, you know, you're managing it. Time is not necessarily a healer. It is you managing things better, if that makes sense. So I feel there is this grounding with this anchor where it's like the feelings are always going to be there, but sometimes you will find peace in a situation by perhaps focusing on something else, and then it comes back to this feeling of uncertainty or these challenging emotions. You'll always return with nostalgia to a certain period in order to process, let go, and find the next level, the next wave. I'm not sure if I'm articulating what my guides are trying to give me at this moment in time. So, for example, recently, someone who was very important transition passed over, and of course, the initial shock and grief of the situation just hit like, I cannot even explain it. It's like something lead in the pit of your stomach, like boom, and you're just having this ripple effect of emotions. You go through so many. So the first layer could be like shock. Then you're numb is the next layer. So I'm highlighting that the waves are, the first wave is like shock. The next wave is like numb. The next wave is practical. Like, how am I going to deal with this? The next wave is like emotion, sadness, grief, anger, rage, all of those emotions. So I'm not saying you're going through that. I'm trying to highlight or articulate what I mean by several layers of how you feel about something, because it feels like something big ended or something challenging occurred that almost like stopped your world. Because the cage is to be like enclosed in something oppressive, and the world, of course, can be an ending of something. So not everybody's going to be going through this, of course. So perhaps maybe you have gone through something like this if you're resonating with it. And I want you to be aware that you will find grounding in that there is an energy of growing and learning and processing, and the sadness or the event will always be there with you, of course, but it's about managing it better as we mature. With a lot of love and respect, I'm going to try and disconnect from the energy because I feel that's at such a depth right now that is hard to process. So perhaps some of you are like, you just don't even have words for how you're feeling right now. And again, that may not resonate with everyone, but I have to honor that came out. So with a lot of love, I'm going to disconnect, okay? But I want to know that no matter who you are and what circumstances you are going through at this time, I feel like there is grounding and there is success and there is a protective energy around you, and you will achieve security in your current circumstances. And you're dedicated to something, but you're going to see progress on it. So whatever that is, I mean, it could be that you're trying to make headway on a diet. For example, it could be that you're trying to protect your health, you're cutting certain things out that perhaps don't align with your body, you felt a little bit out of sync, and now you are showing up for yourself and being stricter with your energy, and you just feel really good about yourself, that you're making headway, and you are not succumbing to any like temptation to fall off the wagon when it comes to eating habits, for example. There's so many layers that this could be right now, but this is your advice to yourself in this moment. This is a card that highlights that you are protected during challenging times, that you do not walk alone, okay? I feel it's important to recognize that it says here, anticipating difficulties, prepared for trouble, you're protected, and wait out the storm. Okay, now some of you may actually live in a place where there's been a lot of radical storms right now, so it could be that, you know, you're trying to make sure that you protect yourself against the storm in some way. And of course, you know, I do see with that energy of you making sure that you follow procedures in order to remain safe during storms. But of course, not everybody's going through that. So it can be like an inner battle that you're dealing with right now, or you preempt some sort of world challenge or change, or even a personal challenge or change. And it's like you're expecting it, but the outcome of it is that actually it's better than you expected. It feels like, you know, it turns out in a very successful way, or you have a lot of power in a situation, or you may have felt that things may be risky, but you trusted fate and you came out the victor. You came out the person who is on top on something. I would say, because this is an advice to the self in this moment, that's what this position actually means in the spread. And it can indicate that, yes, you're worried about something, or you feel like you need to protect something. Could be your finances, could be your family, could be, your health, could be anything. But I feel like you are protected and directed accordingly. So I want you to be aware of that, because you have, in the near future position, this is stability. This is achieving, security, safety, and of course, success through dedication. Now, circumstances outside of yourself, we have the Buddha. So you could be trying to implement practices like peace of mind, grounding, meditation, yoga, maybe even looking at mindfulness apps to help calm the mind. It could also be reinforcing your belief system, or, looking at your life philosophy at this time. But we've got fulfilling destiny, reflection, positive thinking, and understanding. Understanding that the world is going through a shift, or that your personal circumstances are going through a shift, but then also having more of a positive mindset about how you wish these changes to inform your life. That can change the course that you're on. Thoughts become things. And I feel a lot of you may be trying to change a mindset right now. Yes, you may be aware that you've been going through some tough times and you're holding it all together, but circumstances outside of yourself are going to offer you a relief. This is peace of mind. So, this can be that some sort of news or something is going to show up for you that you will celebrate, and it gives you an absolute relief. Okay, I see divine intervention happening here for you, and I feel that, you are going to have this sense of like, it worked out better than I thought. Okay, it's really interesting because my guides normally give me a specific kind of area that we're dealing with here, but in this particular reading, I'm not being given that. So perhaps it's more to apply it to your situations at this time. Now, this is the hope and a fear position. We have the rose. The rose, of course, is sweet reward, but the thorns indicate, challenge, potential struggle there as well. And this is the hope and a fear. So it can be that you're reaching for something that would be rewarding right now. For some of you, it could be to move abroad, or it could be to be more nomadic, or be more free, or financially independent. Or, the rose can be romance. You may want more romance in your life, but you may have had experiences in your past where you were let down in love, or feel that love has not shown up for you. Maybe love equated pain in a previous experience for you. So it can be that you're hesitant. You may feel that, getting into a relationship may bring more of the same. But actually, I feel it's not. Of course, everything we ever do, anything new that we ever do is a risk. But you've got the crown there, which means success. It means that, you will get the desired outcome, whether it is a loving relationship, whether it is financial independence, whether it is security. I feel like, this is about acknowledging that you're going through periods of growth, but also you're doing something that means a lot to you. And yes, it's hard. That's why there's a lot of pressure, because you care so much about whatever it is that you're doing. And it will grow into something that is truly rewarding and beautiful, whatever this is that you're taking the first steps on. But it says here, femininity and beauty, feelings of love, blooming romance, expressing affection. Now, for some of you, this can be that you're learning to love yourself on a deeper level after many years of perhaps intrusive thoughts or tearing yourself down. Maybe this is physical beauty. Maybe this is an inner battle for some of you. It can be the whole encompassing of your world, as it were, and how you feel about yourself, and how it has informed how you interact with the world around you. Are you like super shy? Were you bullied when you were younger? This could be that you're conquering a lot of emotional, turbulent energy, and you're cathartically letting it go so that you can bloom and blossom. And it's been hard. So I feel like you are someone right now who is in bloom. And Sometimes when we go through an awakening, especially a personal awakening as well as a global one, of course, it can be a lonely path. So this can be that you have felt really disconnected in some way, or even felt that you needed to protect your energy because people are misunderstanding you or not getting you in some way, or you need to feel separate from the noise of life so that you can hear your heart and your higher self, so that you can bloom. Now, of course, this is a fear as well. So it can be that you fear that there will be no growth in a situation, whether that's financial, whether that's in a relationship. If you're searching for love, you may fear there's no love, that you cannot connect to a high level commitment, but that's not true at all. I can see here that, you will meet a person who treats you with respect, someone who wants to settle down, someone who is fated and destined to meet you is what I see there. But if you're already in a relationship, it can be that there's been pressure in a relationship and you're trying to navigate these challenging emotions, and both parties are trying to be heard, but there needs to be a little bit more quiet time of understanding so that both people are not talking at the same time over each other. It's like, okay, I need to say my piece. Now you say your piece. In all of that, can we unpack it and try and understand where each person is coming from? And you take it step by step, and you take it one day at a time in order to come back towards each other, fall back in love with each other, and remember why you fell in love with each other in the first place. So this can be applied to a relationship as well. And it can be that, you need to just trust, or perhaps it's a trust issue that needs to be dealt with there. But I feel both of you can find your way back towards each other. But we've got dice here, risks involved, trusting fate, weighing up the risks, and playing the game of chance. So, if you come back to the two root core cards, it can be that if you remain in one place and never take a risk, then things will always remain the same. Or if you do something time and time again and you're expecting a different outcome, but you're still doing the same thing, then of course you're going to get the same outcome. And if that makes you feel stuck in some way, then it's time to try something new or take a risk. Calculated one at that, but I feel like you want to maybe be a little bit more spontaneous in some way to break free from a cycle of repeat. It keeps coming back to feeling this desire for more independence or wanting something different. And we've got the Crown, which is all about sovereignty. It's about success. It's about your power to change your circumstances or go in a different direction. And know that whatever choice you make, you know the right path. Because the Crown is all about the crown chakra, which is to know. So all the answers you need are really within yourself. It's about taking quiet time with that Buddha energy to silence the distractions in order to really hear your heart and download your inner wisdom from your higher self. But it says here, success and victory, power and authority, material gain, and ruling your world. So if you feel right now that there are forces governing you, or people trying to micromanage you, or you feel that you do not have power in a situation, this is you recalibrating and rediscovering parts of yourself where you re-empower yourself. This is empowerment, this card. So this is you finding your way home to self, dealing with a lot of emotions of how you deal with people or how you feel about your world or the people in it, where you feel stuck, how you can shake up your world and make it a little bit more fizzy, reignite that spark in some way. But it'll bring you relief. It'll bring you peace of mind. And there's a lot of success on the other side of you kind of like navigating the next steps that you take. Because I do see a lot of you trying something new here and maybe feeling a little bit unsure about how it's going to go. But I see that actually, it's going to go very well for you. Now, interesting, we've got another card there with the World on it. So we've got compassion, so leading with the heart. And it says on this card, your angels encourage you to cultivate compassion in your heart and spread its warmth and love wherever you go. It is the bridge that connects us to one another. When you act with compassion, you tap into the infinite wellspring of love that resides within you and brings light into the world. So this can be, you know, a mindset to focus more on a level of positivity, because of course there's so much negative energy or negative news out there. If we focus on one layer all the time, we're just going to see that reflected back to us all the time. That's the thing that's going to seek us out. So trying to find more positive things, more excitement, or more things to be excited about, that's going to start reflecting back to you in your world. We've got inspiration. So yes, that is to be more inspired about, you know, your environment and your projects. But it says here to tune into your inner child. And I feel that is that playful energy here, you know, rediscovering who you are, maybe at the very foundation of you, nurturing that inner child, letting that inner child know it's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. You got this. But it says here, tune into your inner child and remember that not all who wonder are lost. Sometimes we have to do a lot of questioning. Maybe that you're not drifting or lost, because I get this sense that you have purpose. You know where you're going, but questioning is good. So it says, give yourself permission to laugh, to play, and relax. Nature's wisdom will surprise you with spontaneous inspiration as you adventure through your path. So adventure on your path. Yes, there's responsibility, but sometimes, you know, there are moments of joy and spontaneity and taking a risk and, you know, seeing what will happen if you just do something different rather than the same kind of like note, because I felt there was one note happening in your Gaia chimes there. We also have 888 there. That is all about abundance, prosperity, material gain. But it says here, you are being graced with the gift of abundance in all its forms. Doors of opportunity are opening. Blessings are flowing. It's time to embrace your full potential and achieve the unimaginable. As you do, success, love, health, and happiness will effortlessly unfold in your life. The time is now to bask in the glow of abundance. And finally, we have 333 here, which is courage. And it says, you are granted the courage to take bold strides forward. Again, it comes down to your earthly plane position. This is what's happening right now. Baby steps, but taking courage to move towards something that's different or new. But it says, this is a time to leave behind the comfort of the familiar. That's absolutely true. Leaving the familiar to experience the extraordinary. You didn't just come to this lifetime to live a life half lived. Okay, that's why I feel like you're getting fizzy with it in some way. But it says, this is the time to leave behind the comfort of the familiar, to rise above fear, and to seize the opportunities that lay ahead. Your perspective holds the power to transform any situation into a progressive step on your journey. I feel this card connects to your whole reading. There were moments where I felt I was grasping for words as to how you are navigating this period. So maybe you feel like you're like grasping for new ways to reimagine life or finding words to articulate how you feel at this moment in time. You're questioning, but it's like, what is the answer? So I feel this card is kind of like you having lots of opportunity ahead of you that's very exciting here, but you're transforming, and it's about what you kind of like focus on. So the more you focus on the negative of what's going on in the world, and you're not ignoring it, I feel like you're doing your best to have compassion and do something about it. But at the same time, it's like, if that's all that keeps finding you at this time, then that's going to kind of like drain you and bring down your vibrations and kind of like take away to some degree the fizziness of life, if that makes sense. Now, easier said than done, I know, because life is full of responsibility and challenge, but I feel this is about you being more spontaneous, doing more things that you love, if possible, literally taking the steering wheel of your life and being in command and saying, you don't have the control over me, I have sovereignty. So that's just a very powerful message that's coming out in this reading. Now we have the skeleton there, so that's all about the Death card, which means, something big ending for you, embracing a new beginning in some way. Death card energy can indicate, breaking bad habits or releasing something to align with something better, closing out a chapter of your life and navigating a new world or new experience. Maybe even picking over the bare bones of something that you feel has ended, processing it, really trying to understand how you feel about it before you can move forward and grow through it at this time. Maybe those are the words that I was reaching for earlier, okay? But also, I'm being given October, major success or major news for you that you'll celebrate coming in October as well there for you. So I'll leave it like that. Now, this was a very challenging reading. I got to be honest with you. So maybe that's how you're feeling right now, but may not resonate with everyone. I have to honor everything that comes out and everything my guides give me to navigate the reading. Sometimes I'm like, where's this reading going? I'm not sure, but I have to trust the process. So if it didn't resonate, don't ever try to make it fit. But I just hope it does resonate with someone out there with some of the points. Also, if you'd like to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put a candle emoji in the comments box below, okay? And if you don't have access to a candle emoji, just write the word candle, and my guides will actually lead me to a person who they want to do the reading for, of course, and I will announce the winner at the end of September there for you. Also, as an aside, find your favorite song, play it loud, and really just feel it in your soul to raise your vibrations. I feel that's what the world really needs right now as well. So if you have time to do that, because I can see that you're very busy here, managing a lot of stress and pressure, keeping it all together. But if you do have a moment, play it loud, play it proud, and really feel it in your soul, okay? So thank you so much, my beautiful Virgo, and love and light.